That's right. Call of Duty has launched onto Game Pass. And the big news that I want to bring is 500 million people have come to the franchise now over its 24 titles released over time, which is absolutely astronomical. This has become a flagship franchise, second only to It's a Mia Mario. So crazy success for these guys. First person shooter has done extremely well. And Black Ops 6 brought that many more people back into it. My question to the panel is the Game Pass question. So this is the very first game released on Game Pass. Right now we have estimates of about 2.5 to 4 million new Game Pass subscribers, and we're hearing that they are seeing a loss in sales at about 10% on Xbox, and seeing about 6 million copies sold less right now. And that's just the numbers that I'm reading from these articles. So, my question is, will this experiment work? Game Pass, will it be better for which side? If anyone wants to share any thoughts, we will start at the top. Jem, what do you think about the Game Pass Call of Duty experiment?
So, Game Pass is great for consumers, has always been, and that hasn't changed yet. And speaking from personal experience, the last Call of Duty I've played like a lot was Call of Duty Ghost. I think that was like the first COD on PS4 with that fish AI thing, which didn't even exist in the game. I still remember when they were talking about that. But anyways, that was the last Call of Duty game I played a lot of. And every year Call of Duty comes out. Sometimes I would check the beta out. Sometimes I won't. Like I'm not someone who likes Call of Duty that much. But this time, I saw you guys playing Black Ops 6. I thought, you know what? Let me just pay 1 month of Game Pass and get into it. And I got hooked. I got addicted to it a bit. And that wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for Game Pass. Now, if it wasn't for Game Pass, I would have no incentive on actually just buying the game because it's £70. So another way of looking at it from a PC Game Pass perspective is that in the UK, the PC Game Pass is £10 a month. This game costs £70 a month. So that's 7 months of Game Pass. So it's like, are you going to play this for a whole year? Or like, how do you justify the costs and stuff? Is it better to just pay for Game Pass and not buy the game? Now, later on, I might be wrong about this. I'm not into Call of Duty stuff like monetization. Correct me if I'm wrong here, but I was told that Call of Duty sometimes does DLC map packs where you pay for them. Um, and if that's the case, does Game Pass get those DLCs for free, or do you have to pay
No.
that extra as well? So Game Pass doesn't get the DLCs.
From what I am told, Game Pass does not get the DLC. Usually Maker would come in and correct me with the facts here, but I'm the only one here, so I'm gonna say no DLC with Game Pass, and I'm gonna look it up in the
I
background.
will think.
So
Well,
so
because Call of Duty got Activision got bought by Microsoft, there's a possibility there. I will say.
yeah, so basically the way I predicted or projected would be Black Ops 6 would have a higher increase in player size, but lower initial sales because of Game Pass. And it's just Game Pass doing its thing. It's up to Microsoft if they think, oh, it's worth it or not. They're the ones who spent like 69 billion or whatever. Um, but yeah, I'm happy with it. It's consumer friendly.
So confirmed, Game Pass provides you with the base game. DLC is typically and most often a separate purchase. However, for older titles, they may include the DLC. For instance, if they introduce like the gold version of a game. But typically for new games, DLC is extra. And yeah, Maker
There you
confirms
go.
DLC is extra for the new games. So there you go. You'll have to purchase it, and that will be a good experiment whether or not people opt in for more on the DLC side. Vet, I know you don't want to talk about Black Ops, so I'm going to skip you for this one, but I'll get you in on the next one. I know it's not your favorite topic, so I'm just being respectful on that one. But SPG, what do you think of the Game Pass experiment with Call of Duty? Do you think it's going to be better for Sledgehammer Games? Do you think it's going to be better for Microsoft? Or do you think all parties will lose?
Well, Jem touched on something that it's good for the consumer at this point, and that's great. Is that going to change? I don't know. But the way I see it is it's less of an experiment and it's just about where they're getting their profit from. Microsoft doesn't actually want to sell you Call of Duty for $80. They want to get you into their ecosystem or the Game Pass and have you keep it for a year, regardless if you're still playing that game. So where they want their profits is not from the game itself anymore. It's from a service that they can provide to you. This is the way the industry's going. It's much like the music industry and how they had to shift. It's much like how the movie industry had to shift. We're seeing a shift now, and if we like it or not, that's the way it's heading. They want money from you every month, regardless of the title you're actually trying to play. That's what they want, and that's what they're going to get. Because I like games and I'm going to keep buying them. Now, with this model, the experiment is like, is this going to be profitable for them? Are people going to do what Gem did and pay for 1 month, gold, platinum, the damn thing, and then like exclude themselves from Game Pass? You know, that's kind of what the experiment is. But the industry wants live service, and they don't want a one-time fee from you and then to keep updating their servers. They want a perpetual income from you, and I think that is honestly where the industry is going to be headed. We're going to see it in all kinds of games, even games that it doesn't make sense in. But Microsoft, I believe, in this scenario is going to win. I'm glad consumers are winning with them. When that changes, that's going to be a problem.
Absolutely. One word answer. I'm gonna go down the line. Will the next Call of Duty be on Game Pass next year? And we'll start with Jim.
Yes.
Vet? SPG?
Yep.
Nads?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah. I guess it's a unanimous yes across the boards. Okay. Well, I was just showing some Call of Duty Zombies in the background, and honestly, I love that mode. It's so much fun. But I want to get into the next